So, you got some big dreams, but eventually you're going to face some obstacles. Today, I'm going to share some tips with you on how to stay committed even when you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we get into everything, I had somebody ask me what makes me qualified to share this information with anybody. And the simple answer is this is a lot of stuff that I have to practice on a day to day basis. And just because I'm sharing this information actually doesn't make me better than anybody. It puts me on an even keel. And I'm just trying to pass information on to help get people to think. Um, excuse me. And with that being said, we're going to get into today's topic: how to stay committed to something even when you want to quit. The very, very first tip that I have for everybody, and stay to the end because the last tip is the most important as always. The first tip I have, though, is remember why you started. So oftentimes it's really easy to get hung up on wanting to quit. Things get difficult as you go forward. Things are a little uncomfortable. You're not sure you're going to be able to accomplish what you initially set out to do. But if you look at why you began everything in the beginning, it actually gives you a lot of hope and understanding as to why you are doing what you're doing. And just a quick example in my own life with recovery. So sometimes if I say want to quit, if I want to throw it all down and pick up a beer or get stoned or whatever, if I remember why I started that last day, that can normally be enough to set me back on the path of being grateful for where I'm at, being grateful for the struggle. Anyhow, the next one is reflect on your progress. I think that this is one of the things that sometimes we forget too. We'll look at how far that we haven't come yet with what we're trying to accomplish, but then we forget to really embrace and honor how far we have come with everything. And when you really look at where you started versus where you are, when you really start to question things, there's usually a big, big change. And sometimes you might not notice that change in that moment, but if you hold on just a little bit longer, you're going to see that there has been a big shift, that you might have been a little bit too close to it at the time to recognize it, because hindsight's 2020. And when you hold on just a little bit longer, you'll see even more of how far you've progressed. And this last one is probably my favorite. This is something else that I've learned from traditional recovery, and it is play the tape the whole way through. And playing the tape the whole way through, in case you're not familiar with what that analogy is, it's thinking of what would happen if you gave up at this point. If you stopped doing what you've been doing, and then you reverted back to what you were doing before you started this whole process, and you understand that you're not going to be happy with the results, it makes it that much easier to hold on. Because a lot of times we might kind of glorify what used to be or the old way that we were living. But when you really consider, if I stop doing this now, I'm going to end up at that same spot, it makes it easier to hold on. So if you're struggling with something and you really, really do want to give up, I'm going to ask you this. Just for today, hold on one more day. Continue to push forward with what's been working for you. If it's a healthy choice, if it's an unhealthy choice that you've been making and you're trying to stay with it, I'm going to ask that you probably give that up and understand that there's a better way to live. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If it was, subscribe to me on YouTube, like the page on Facebook, no matter what platform you're on. And if you have topics, drop it in the comment section below, and I would be happy to look into whatever topic you want me to talk about. So have a blessed day.